What's really dangerous is unwanted pregnancies for any reason, because it leads to parents who aren't ready to raise a child, who are unstable, and that leads to foster care. Are you saying we should unalive the people in foster care? No, of course not. I mean, it kind of sounds like you think that they're better off dead, that they're better off not making any sort of connections and relationships, that their whole entire existence is really a net negative to the world and the population at large, and it would be better if they just weren't here. That's not what I'm saying. You're not even doing the whole, oh, wouldn't it be better if they never existed? You're saying, like, it would have been better if they were poisoned, suffocated, ripped apart limb from limb, heads crushed, like just crazy stuff. That's not what I'm saying. Are you saying that women who have considered abortions are just more likely to be abusive? No, that's not what I'm saying. It kind of sounds like you're saying it's just better if they just off them early instead of just raising them and abusing them and neglecting them and leaving psychological scars. What do you think happens when people are forced into parenthood? Well, I think it's very likely that you can find a couple to adopt the child so they don't actually end up in foster care, for one. And it's likely that women will be like, whew, that was a mistake. Glad I didn't unalive that child. And they'll raise them and they will form bonds with them. You don't know that. I mean, it happens all the time, but in that Turnaway study you guys love so much, says that women who are turned away from abortion, like 96% of them, are glad that they didn't unalive their child, and they do go on and form bonds with them. But the pregnancy was unwanted. The pregnancy that produced me was unwanted. That doesn't mean my parents weren't going to love me and raise me and be glad that I'm here. Okay, but women should have the choice. I strongly disagree that you should have a blanket right, you said for any reason, to unalive your offspring. Sometimes life comes at you fast and hard and unexpected, but that doesn't mean you get to unalive people to solve difficult situations. This isn't a purse that you shouldn't have bought or a haircut that didn't end up cute on you. This is a living child, your son or daughter. There are children who end up in foster care who had parents who would have never considered having an abortion. And there are parents who maybe considered having one, didn't get one for whatever reason, and ended up loving their children, being amazing parents. After just 1 week of being turned away, a third of women were glad that they did not unalive their children. Could it be that having all this access to this horrific choice is actually doing more harm than good? And in that same study, women will claim that they don't regret actually having their abortion. But wouldn't it be better that if they didn't have the abortion and they still had their living sons and daughters with them who they love? It's not cruel toward the mother or the child to stand up for life, but it is cruel to unalive people based off of hypothetical harm.